Okay. Well, I am Coach Dusty, and we are here today talking about finding health and happiness with menopause and perimenopause. A very interesting time through females' lives, and whether you are a female or you are just here to support your loved one that is going through this experience, this is going to be great information for you to use and hopefully help either find a happy relationship through this time frame for women or be there to support those who are going through this lovely experience. And I say that sarcastically because it is a very interesting time in females' lives. So, without further ado, let's find our way to healing and happiness with menopause and perimenopause. So, for those of you who don't know, what is um, menopause and perimenopause, and can you avoid it? No, you cannot avoid it. Basically, this is a time frame that women go through when their hormones are lowering, mostly estrogen and progesterone, but estrogen surely, and it's on their way to leading to infertility, basically, meaning that we no longer are able to have children. And with that comes a lot of changes. And are there things that we can do to lessen the symptoms that occur? Absolutely. And that is what we are here to talk about. I know that from a personal experience, I am going through perimenopause right now. And there are things that we can do on a daily basis to make our daily lives healthier, happier, and get onto or into a regular routine that we can subside some of the symptoms that occur through this stage of our transition, right? Let's. So, how do you know if you're in menopause? Well, these are the symptoms that you are going to that experience through menopause and perimenopause. And if you haven't had your period in over 12 months, you're definitely in that menopause phase. And with that comes insomnia, weight gain. I can't tell you how many clients I have that are going through this stage, and no matter what kind of game plan we come up with or program, weight gain is a consistent factor, and we are going to address how we can work on that area. Anxiety, depression, it is a thing, so it's good for us to be aware of the signs and symptoms so that we can address them properly. Difficulty concentrating. So if you're going throughout your workday and you feel like you are everywhere and having squirrel moments, you're focused on one thing and the next minute you get distracted and you're now on to B and you go back to A. This could be a cause of going through perimenopause and menopause. Memory problems, it is a thing. I know that we call it mom brain too, but if you have never had children, it's still a thing with perimenopause and menopause. Painful, stiff joints, lack of sleeping, tenderness in certain areas of our body. So all of these things that we see in this list are signs of menopause. And so if you feel like you are currently experiencing this or a loved one is currently experiencing this, then they might want to go see their physician and get their hormones tested so that we can properly treat it, diagnose it, and figure out a way that we can um, utilize the tools that I'm about to give you to help go through this phase. Right. How do you know you go through perimenopause? You same kind of concept of menopause, trouble sleeping, low energy and fatigued, mood swings, night sweats. Your your brain is fogged, so your pre-memory loss, right? You're starting to get anxiety when you never have. your libido is lower, you're getting irregular periods, your periods have become worse. So you're starting to get hot flashes. These are definitely new signs and symptoms that you have never experienced prior to this stage, and that is okay. So again, now we are becoming aware, we're becoming knowledgeable of this, and now we just got to figure out the skills that we need to find a happy and healthy medium to going through this stage. Right? What is the difference, right? So the difference is, and this is a huge year gap, right? Because women, it can start as early as their late 30s, but mostly it's common in 40s. Okay. Those who have had um, children at an earlier age can experience perimenopause earlier. So if you feel like you are in your mid 30s and you're experiencing all these types of changes, then you very well could be going through it. Okay. It leads up to menopause, and it could take anywhere from 4 to 10 years. As long as you have a period within a 12-month time frame, you are in perimenopause. You do not develop menopause until you stop having a period in 12 months. That's as simple as I can explain it. So that's the rule of thumb. If you have gone 6 months and then you all of a sudden have a period, you're not there yet. You're not at menopause phase. Okay. When we're at perimenopause, that just means our estrogen level is depleting. So and it has accelerated. That depletion has accelerated within 1 to 2 years of perimenopause, resulting in severe symptoms. So if you feel like things are ramping up as far as your weight gain, your mood swings, your night sweats, your irritability, then again, go see your physician and talk about it. This is a conversation that needs to happen. You can't put it on the back burner. The quicker you address it, the quicker you're going to get to that happy and healthy phase, because experiencing it myself, it is not fun. And if we have the opportunity to get through a certain phase of our lives that is inevitable, okay, and we can make it easier, then let's do it, right? So let's talk about that. How can we holistically, from a holistic standpoint, understand our bodies through this phase and how we can help ourselves on the daily basis? And it's going to come with exercise, movement, nutrition, um, all the things that we as health fitness professionals have kind of been trying to prepare our future with, right? So why are we gaining weight? Why are we not sleeping? All the whys. So let's address that. The bone density, the loss in muscle mass, the joint pain, the anxiety. Well, let's talk about it, right? Because the only way that we're going to be able to address it is if we talk about it. Okay. Physical activity recommendations. Um, First of all, we are going through all of this because our hormone levels are changing. Okay. We were at a constant state from a female perspective at a specific progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone level. For all of my men out there, just so you know, we're going to be talking about this next month, but we all have the same hormones. Now, from a female male perspective, our hormone levels are different and specific, and our specific hormones. Our estrogen and progesterone level are higher in females than they are in males, but we all have the same hormones. We have testosterone, ladies, and that is just something that is part of our DNA. It's part of our body makeup. It's part of genetics, right? So how can we help with these signs and symptoms? Physical activity, number one, number one. And I know when you're at a fatigue state, it's hard to motivate yourself, but I guarantee you, if you give yourself just 5 minutes, you're going to feel so much better from a mental, physical, and emotional standpoint, and you're going to make everybody, your environment better. Everybody within your environment is going to be happier and healthier, and that's what ultimately we want to get to, right? So what is the recommendation? Here's the recommendation. From an aerobic standpoint, that means consistent movement that requires oxygen for at least 30 minutes most days per week. I would definitely say at least try to aim for 2 to 3, right? It improves our fitness, it improves our blood sugar. When we improve our fitness and our blood sugar and our cardiovascular, we're getting more oxygen to the body. When we're getting more oxygen to the body, we are happier people. We just are. And we have more energy. Okay. Decrease cholesterol, blood pressure, fat intake. Uh, and we're going to also, with that fat intake, that visceral fat, which is the bad fat, we are going to decrease our chances of getting type 2 diabetes. And that is the one that we can prevent, right? So all of this with physical activity and weight-bearing physical activity, that could be, um, you know, metabolic training. It could be hot yoga. Anything on a consistent basis, walking, running, um, cycling, hiking, all those things are considered aerobic weight-bearing exercises. Resistance training, anything that requires resistance. If you are into aquatics, that is considered resistance training. If you don't like to lift weights, if you don't like to do calisthenics, with lift your own body weight, a body weight squat or a push-up, plyometrics. If that is not your jam, then you can always resort back to aquatics. Go into the pool, it's summertime, walk around, try to run. Resistance training, try to focus on 2 to 3 days per week. It improves muscle mass. When we improve muscle mass, ladies, no matter what you believe, remember, more muscle at rest burns more calories. If you're burning more calories, you're burning more fat, you're burning more energy. That is going to decrease the weight. It is all intertwined with one another. Okay. So when we get stronger, we increase um, our energy. We increase our endurance. We increase our power. We increase our focus throughout the day. All these are benefits. We decrease the frailty of our bodies, the frumpiness, the gloom. I call it the gloom stage, right? It's where we feel yuck, and it's going to help overall regulate our hormones and get that level up to where we need to be. Continuing on with our physical activity recommendation, our flexibility. Flexibility is extremely important. I know that probably at this age, the hardest part of our day is waking up and putting our socks on. That is a joke. I hope you laughed, but it's true. Our muscles are tight. They shorten quicker as we age. So flexibility and mobility training is equally as important as physical activity, right? We want to try to do that twice a week. So our flexibility and um, our resistance training can be all in one. That's yoga, right? So incorporate our mobility classes that we have at the fitness center, on our YouTube station, within the app. Will cover movement, flexibility, and balance, which is the next one. We want to try to work on our balance, improve on our balance. With all of this adjustment and changing and shifting of our body and our hormones, our balance gets off, and so does our equilibrium. We get a little bit of vertigo, right? So we're always feeling off balance. So we really need to work on our pillar strength and improve our balance, our stability, and functional fitness. When we're bending down, picking up things, when we're just doing everyday chores, laundry, taking the trash out, folding clothes, like all of that is considered functional fitness, right? So general activities to do is regeneration, okay? So regeneration is going to create better sleep, Okay, a better sleep schedule is going to create a consistent schedule. We want to try to get 7 to 9 hours to recover, to really rejuvenate, regenerate, recover our body from what we did that day. And that's why it's so important to sleep. And it's also gives us time from a mental standpoint to recover, refresh, reset, so that we're ready to produce our best the next day. Set up, a one-on-one coaching consult. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on and take it baby steps. We're not going to fix everything overnight. That just doesn't happen, just from a behavior standpoint, right? Everything takes time. But with consistency, it's going to become and it's going to develop as a habit, and a habit that you want for the rest of our lives. Okay, especially during this time frame, we are dealing with a lot. We want to practice breath work and relaxation techniques. I know when I start getting anxious or an unsettled feeling, I grab my app, I do some breath work during the day in the car. Like, again, we have a lot going on. Breath work helps a lot, and it resets your focus and from going from an unsettling state to a nice and calm state, so that you know how to proceed. Because when we're at that unsettling anxiety phase, we're just frazzled. We don't know how to continue. We're just stuck, and we don't want to be stuck, right? Incorporating movement, strength training twice a week. Again, we're working on that, uh, gaining muscle mass at rest, uh, which burns calories at rest. Okay. When you're strength training, you're working on your bone density. Okay. It prevents osteoporosis. Um, Practicing low impact classes are going to help with that flexibility, that range of motion, that mobility, that balance. So incorporate yoga, Pilates, bar, stability, mobility. And listen, if you have never tried any of those classes, then this is a great opportunity to explore within the app. We literally have all these genres. Within the app, we have these genres in-house at the fitness center. Go visit Coach Alethea. Visit me on our YouTube station. If there's a class that you don't see that you want, reach out to me on Coach Hub or DM me. That is what I am here for. That is what Coach Alethea is here for. We are here to address all things wellness, including all the phases that we go through, right? Nutrition recommendations, okay? This is very important, right? This is going to help with our hormonal imbalance, because that's exactly what's going on right now. Is we want to make sure that we have some sort of protein in each meal, aiming for animal or plant-based. We need to have protein, okay? We need to aim for 2 to 3 vegetables. Make it 3 colors on your plate. Right? Mostly very colorful, greens, reds, yellows. Make it colorful, make it pretty, right? The foods where you're at. If you have a lot of children, a lot of activity, we're constantly on the road. This is where we need to prepare. We need to make time for ourselves as much as we care for everybody else, right? So if you need a meal prep on Sunday. Make time for yourself, right? Focus on a balance of proteins, carbs, fats intakes. Again, at least 3 different colors. If you look at your plate and you're like, this isn't very bright and colorful, then regroup and find some color. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. I'm not saying that you can't go home and have a glass of wine or your favorite beverage or soda pop or sparkling water, but drink plenty of water throughout the day. Make sure that you're getting, 64 ounces or more throughout the day. Avoid spicy foods to ease hot flashes. I love spicy foods. I do not like night sweats. So we're going to have to find a happy medium. Choose our hard. I always say that, Do we want to just know that if you indulge in spicy food, you're probably gonna not sleep well. So we always are choosing our hard, right? Same thing with caffeine and alcohol in moderation. Just do it in moderation. If you have a cup of coffee, 5 cups of coffee each morning, how about we half that and see if there's any progress with the symptoms, signs and symptoms we are experiencing right now if we are going through this phase. Eat food rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Get your peanuts, get your fish. If you don't like any of those things, fish oil, supplements. Uh, all of these things can, when it comes to our vitamins and nutrient dense products, we want to definitely encourage some sort of supplement. Uh, I'm losing my thought here, but yeah, supplement replacement. Okay. And that concludes our webinar. Are there any questions that we have? I thank you for joining me. Um, and that is what we're here to talk about. There's so much more to this phase, right? Really, I just encourage you to embrace it. It's inevitable. I'm personally going through it right now. Yes, Mary Soul.
Hi, Dusty. I'm actually here
Hey,
with Sarah, and we just had a
yes,
question about maybe like hormone testing.
What are your
absolutely.
thoughts on that?
Thoughts?
Yes. So listen, I feel that if you have experienced these signs and symptoms for longer than 6 months, then you should be tested. You go through your OBGYN, and I would recommend going through your OBGYN. Um, and they will be able to tell you exactly where your levels are so that you are capable of proceeding in either a holistic or a supplemental replacement way. It because it varies.
Mhm.
It does require blood work. You can do it at your annual, your well woman visit. Uh, I know that for me personally, after experiencing about over 6 months of really bad night sweats, that I was just like, something's not right. It
Mhm.
happened very quickly for me. Um, as far as just I saw things drastically change just from my mood, from my internal temperature level, my fatigue. Um, I started having really bad headaches, which I didn't change anything in my daily routine.
Mhm.
So, I feel that, if it's come to an unbearable state or you just want answers, then I recommend it.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? We're here to talk. All things women. No? Well, listen, if you have questions and you don't want to address them in this webinar, please reach out to me. I'm here to talk to you. I have been ongoing with our nutrition specialist because I know that diet's a big area because the reality is the shifting of our hormones so fast, it does mean that our metabolism is slowing down at a drastic rate, which woohoo, yay for us. Um, just another fun, lovely thing that we get to manage. Um, so reach out to me. I can send you a list of, calcium rich foods, things that, we can help from a holistic standpoint with our mood swings, our night sweats, our hot flashes. Um, because if you haven't experienced it yet, it comes on fast and furious, and sometimes you don't even realize it's happening. You're just in the middle of it and you can't explain it. And again, like I said, you're stuck. And we want to get out of that unstuck phase and make this phase of our life, because it could be really short, it could be very long, right? And we just want to make this as comfortable and pleasant as we possibly can. So I thank you guys so much for your attendance, and reach out to me anytime you want. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Dusty. You
Thank
too.
you. Bye.
Bye.